What the fuck happened to OBS design, dude? At least it didn't change anything at all. In terms of how it functions, right? I cannot put this down. This used to be like so much lower. Like these buttons don't have to be this huge, man. So I'm already losing some value out of this. Value that I never really used. Now I could have released one of my videos that I did recently, but I thought it was kind of below average. Not that like below average is bad. It was hour long as well. But all I was doing is doing a special event where I try and get 100 people to reach 900 points. I almost completed it, and then Windows decided that it wants to, update itself. And I had to restart it. At the last person. But the last entity was really hard to actually get to 900. I wasn't even halfway there. So, yeah, it takes maybe like 3 hours. It took me like 3 hours with Sunny. Or maybe even more, look at that. Like, this is 3 hours, so maybe like 5 hours. I tried to do Scott Sys. You don't know what it is, but I tried it. Girls don't work, man. Girls only get 100 points and they disappear from my life. Because I get bored. Everything else went pretty smoothly because they already had a lot of points. I just had to push them a little bit. That's it. Especially Tate. Andrew Tate got a very interesting result. He actually pushed the ceiling, or the perfect value, by 15 points. And he is now the leader of value. Obviously, I watched like the most valuable thing he did, pretty much. But it's like, how could he fail from that point? What, am I gonna watch like a shitty podcast that he does, where he does not bring as much value? Potentially his value just goes down because there's only a limited amount of ideas you can actually share with people. So that is gonna be very interesting to see the development. But the question is, how is he gonna upload videos? And most importantly, it's just such a big pain in the ass, right? Why would you delete a person? Why would you be a fucking bully? Everyone just jumped on board. It's like, I have to delete this. It's a business thing to do. It's a governmental thing to do. Or some bullshit like that. It was just a very interesting trend. Not even a trend. It's like organized crime almost. Because the punishment is much bigger than the crime. That means that the punishment is the crime. And the crime is just the bait. The bait to prove that government is corrupt or whatever. That the authorities are corrupt. That's it, It's a perfect example of a fucking bait right now. Like, he actually didn't do any crime, to be honest, besides just having an opinion. But that is, as far as most, problems go, right? No, the real crime was, like, people are very, very scared of spikes, alright? If someone actually becomes popular out of nowhere, and they do have quite a controversial not even like opinions, but controversial way to present themselves. I mean, that. But still, you know, there's no explanation, no statement. Authorities are so corrupt. We have to do something about it, right? But I'm too lazy. Too lazy. But one thing I will try and do for 7 days, I will embark myself on a project that might change my life significantly. Even though all I'm gonna do is just, you know, do what I did best. The system. I'll just have to, you know, create an app for it. An application. Application that you can download yourself. You can't use this because it's too complicated to set it up. But downloading an application and just clicking some buttons, easy for anyone. So anyone will be able to download this stuff. And we have to talk about it. So that's the first point, and you know why it's actually important. So let's mark it with a star, just to see how many reasons there are to actually make this. Obviously, the counter reason to everything is that I'm actually fucking lazy. All right. But even I am not too lazy to admit some. Shut the fuck up, man. Who fucking cares about your stupid life, dude? Make a video about it. I will watch it. And just link the video instead, man. Nobody cares about your stupid life, man. Or your games, or your opinion about AI, apparently. You can watch me roast this guy. I uploaded a video recently. But this is much more important, right? It might be worth it. I will, you know, shove my laziness up my ass just for a moment to do something incredible. All right? If it's worth it, I have to do it. All right? There's no excuse. Because, you know, it will improve my life in whatever way it's gonna go. And potentially it could just, you know, create a spike. And everyone is just like, what is this thing? I have to download it. I have to fucking use it. This is fucking groundbreaking. This is Minecraft 2.0. That's a new way to fucking experience internet. It's what I am experiencing to myself. This is better than any game that you can create right now. It's just stats, you know, numbers. Everyone's addicted to numbers. Come on, man. You're not addicted to numbers? People look into subscribers, likes, but they don't really know how much influence other people have on them. And I think that's very nice to be aware of. You know, to be nostalgic about sometimes. Trying to remember, what do you know about these people? I almost wanted to make a fact-checked video where I just kind of take top 100 and see if I can remember enough facts about them. Let's say they have 800 points and I need to remember like 8 facts. It's not that easy, and anyone who don't make me remember facts, I'll just burn them. I'll have another reason to burn people. But I don't know. Like burning, I'll burn myself real quick. Okay, 45%. That would be a bad example. Anyone I can burn? I can burn Leah. Anytime, guys. At 0%. If I burn her 3 times, actually, if I click ping once, she gets 0.3%. If I burn her 3 times, she gets like 7%. That's significant, right? That's like 30 times. It goes to 15%. It's kind of not bad. I don't know what kind of significance it makes. I usually don't burn more than 3 times, because I don't want to punish anyone. I can slow them down, but punishing, maybe over time, slowly, you know, chip away. Because I don't care about these people anymore. I'm starting to forget about them. They don't have influence on me currently. You know, it kind of makes sense, but I still have to keep numbers in check in the same place. Because they mean something. Alright. So anything that would improve my system is a very significant change. Let me pull out GIMP. So the idea is pretty simple. The same way I just type in here. Are we typing somewhere? Probably just do like Shift S or something. Something pops up and I type in the name, and all of a sudden I have this bubble. I'll type it myself for Ari, and I can basically summon as many of these as I want. There's probably gonna be a special area that I could drag these things onto, and that area has like a button, and that's the pink area basically. But it's kind of weird, right? The reason why I kind of need this, but at the same time I can only ping one thing on the system. So what I'm gonna do in this video is try and put together a concept of how it's gonna work. I can still do a video about it, but for like 7 days I will not be making videos, probably. Who knows? I don't think I need to show you the progress or anything. That's just kind of boring anyways. I'll just give you the actual thing and give you a download as well. So there's something to wait for sure. Oh, 7-day challenge, boys. Uh-oh. The other way to do this is to actually just have keys on the keyboard. But then, why not just click on it, right? Why not just click on the button and it kind of pings the button? That's fine, right? And I can switch immediately if I want to. So let's say I want to ping myself. I would have to write the name down and then ping. But instead, in this simulation, I can just summon both of these buttons and ping them separately whenever I want. Whoever is active, I can just switch very easily. It's not a big difference, but it is better, right? I can definitely like delete them. Like, let's see, I hold letter D. It's still weird holding letters because, you know, you want to type things. So you have to finish typing, but that's fine, I think. You hold the letter D, you delete that. That's simple. Alright, what else? What other concepts we need? We need the feeder concept. The heat display is not that important at the moment. So there's gonna be some small things that I'm just gonna be missing entirely. The details are important. So I'll have the details somewhere displayed, just like it is right now. I'm not sure about the ping table. I think I just used the same thing, just X2. It is totally fine. If we want more features, they have to be very easy to implement. And this is not easy to extend. Let's say I have like X10, I have to show every single ping. But there would be probably just a button, or I can press and immediately get the ping table displayed. But there's the biggest problem, alright? The biggest problem that makes me really sad, alright? Guess what is the biggest feature amongst these things, right? That you see right now. This is the whole system that you see. What is the biggest and most difficult thing to actually process? What do you think? It's literally half of this system is the messaging console. It's a pain in the ass, guys. This is what makes me think real hard about this. But what makes me feel positive about the whole situation is there's probably just a asset for that, and I just have to dig around for assets, put them all together, even like a drag and drop asset. There's one more thing I want to do, which is linking. I press an L or F, I don't know, some button, and I can link from one thing to the other. It goes one way, alright? It can only go one way. Which is, it's kind of weird. This link means that Ari takes points from me, so it's kind of awkward, right? But this is how you would do it normally. You would say just link REG, so from Ari to me, and then you decide how many percentage you link me with, and that's what you get. The percentage amount of my value. Alright, so it's more like an arrow of ownership, which is totally fine. So we need a feature like that. It's a big feature too. And I need a button that I can press. Let's say a W. I press on the button, and it summons every single link, and it shows like the values that she's getting from those links or something, and the percentage on top. I think the arrow is gonna go away. I don't think. I don't know. It's a hard thing to just keep the arrow in. I would just like, you drag the arrow in, it disappears, but you have to type in the number, and that's kind of done. And then you can summon it in. I'm not sure. There has to be like a number, right? So let's say she gets like 15 points from me, which is like a 2% thing or something. I wouldn't give any percent, okay, to anyone. I'm a big dude. They can't steal from me for no reason whatsoever. I don't think I will break this rule. There are people that might need to be rewarded, but I probably will do it in a different way. Because again, I don't know if I can control my points, the amount of points I have. It could be actually even overwhelming to just get 1%. Because right now it's over 100 points to just get 1% of my points. But, you know, this is just an example. Alright. This seems weird. You do want to know also the total number. The number displayed here. This is the total number of value, linked value. You definitely want to know that. This number is not actually as relevant. The percentage is the most relevant part. So that's the only reason why you would summon links in the first place. But honestly, like, every single button also has their own values. So they're kind of big and bulky, honestly. They have to have values. Alright. 95 or whatever. Every single button. Which makes things a lot a lot more annoying, believe me. So I don't think this is a good idea at all. It's just gonna be buttons, links, everything's quite simple. The other thing that is fairly complicated, I would say. What if you summon multiple buttons of the same name? You can probably do that, but then you can link the same button to itself. What if I crash the system? I have never tried linking something to itself. It would just crash the whole thing, right? It's the scariest thing to me. I probably would just allow it, you know. I don't even want to see what happens, but you know, it's for science, so it's fine. We can save this. What if the entire thing crashes forever? 10%. Alright, link to Ari. It still works, because that's how links work. It's actually quite interesting. You can link yourself to yourself, and it's fine. The system can actually understand that, because your value does not actually increase when you link yourself to yourself. You just get link value instead, which is a very interesting thing. An interesting way to increase your value. So you don't break the system just by summoning the same thing over and over again, everywhere. So that's fine. One thing that might be difficult is the top. There are 3 categories, right? Top over 800, top plus 300, and top plus 100. There's kind of equal amount of people in all these categories, but summoning 100 people, it's a huge list of people, okay? How am I gonna scroll through that? How am I gonna see? See, that's another problem that console just solves very easily. Alright, top tube, top 100 people. Here you go. You just scroll through that. It's easy. I also copy and paste. That's the most important feature. This is a headache, dude. This is... I didn't realize how difficult it's gonna be. But this one thing breaks everything. Alright? Yes, technically, this is just a text that has been printed out. That means I can copy and paste it with a command. No problem there, right? So, I do know how to copy into clipboard. No problem with that either. So, it shouldn't be a big deal, to be honest. I can just summon 100. Sure. 100 buttons, boys. It sucks, alright? It really sucks. There has to be a better way to do it, right? You can't just summon a fucking line. You can't even fill up this board with buttons all of a sudden. Even that wouldn't work. 100 is a lot, man. Even if we fill this board with 100 buttons, it might not be enough, dude. Even if we take this entire space, it might not be enough. 3, 4, 5. We can show 25 probably. Alright, it looks like 25 to me. So that's scary, dude. How do I scroll through? What do I do? This is crazy, man. I literally have to have the exact asset for the entire console thing, and it has to work exactly the same way, or it will suck. Alright? It will suck to have this garbage work to do. So now you can see why I'm so attracted to this whole design. It's just like, it works so very well to me. The way it is. and I have no idea how do you move from here. I just have absolutely no idea. The other thing, technically, if I can just copy things to clipboard, I don't necessarily need to see everything anymore. So I don't need to summon buttons at all. Alright. And there is obviously a way to just create a stupid screen. A screen pops out and you just kind of scroll through what is the top 100 or whatever, different categories pops out. Sure, no problem with that. Except it's kind of difficult to do. So, but that's the best solution. Alright, that probably will be implemented very late. So yeah, technically I can work without it. I just copy things, just press a button. I get all of this data. I paste it somewhere here, and I can use it. I can see what's going on. But I would have to paste it every single fucking time. There's no way around it. So, unless I get the same console thing working, it's gonna be a disaster. Just with this one feature alone. Even linking is kind of difficult. Just drawing a line is fucking difficult in Unity. Believe me. There's nothing easy about Unity. Even a fucking sprite like this that would be flexible and stretch out kind of based on the length of the name. That's difficult enough. So probably will not stretch it out and allow, you know, names to overflow. Because who gives a fuck? It's just the fluff content for me. To make the button bigger for no fucking reason. It sounds like pissing off people is much more valuable than actually fixing literally everything just to make things look good. It's never should be never the focus of any developer of any kind. Just to make things look good, yeah. At some point it will look good. When I'm bored and I have nothing better to do. So that's those features. There are also a few buttons, like the power up button. Pretty crazy. The swap button does not make sense anymore, so that's nice. But it kind of does, unfortunately. The reason why it does, there are certain videos that contain 2 people at one time. And so you never know which one to ping, to be honest, to be fair. And you cannot just ping once and keep switching, right? It becomes very tedious. You might want to ping a few times here. Yeah, just the clicking sound, that's all I need, guys. Click here, you keep on switching. Maybe you switch, maybe you have a little bit more control, you know. Oh, I'll ping more here. So I don't think I need to add a feature for swapping the ping. It would be, I don't even know how to do it. Multiplier is completely useless. I used to like input certain amount of data and multiply it by a number, but now it just feels obsolete, so I don't even use that anymore. Heat display is just a fluff content. We can do so much fluff content now that it's gonna be in a simulation in the first place. Things gonna fucking explode and set on fire. I don't know, man. And particles everywhere. Alright. If we want to. So that's garbage. So there's 3 things that are just completely useless, honestly. But there's the feeder thing, which is incredibly useful. And we have to figure out how to do that one. Let me think. Honestly, I really don't think that the value thing makes sense to have every single value displayed, because I don't actually do it here either. Some value is being displayed here, but without the link value. I don't add the link value. I can only see the full value when I increase the score of something. So if I do that, here you go, you can see everything. +1 onto this value, so I can see the full value, and out of that full value there's this link value, right? But it's all added together. So this one displayed is kind of useless. I don't actually even look at it. It's kind of a cringe value. But there's details, right? So if I just click on a button, I could just have some details. Do we have to use the eraser now? Because now it's kind of useful to have, no, it's so toxic, man. I have to erase these stupid lines. So, these are gonna be some details. Now I have to, god damn. Yeah, we just write some values or whatever. So instead of this thing, no, we just move it, alright? Over here, boys. And the other things. Just details. This doesn't exist. Very simple. You click on something, you see the details. Very simple. You might even see the links. So you don't have to even click. Necessarily, you will be able to see percentage. Maybe even the values. Probably not. We'll see. But no, I don't think links would actually fit here. You might want to summon them. But you will summon a lot of things on the screen. I'm not gonna lie, man. Something like cat or like XXX. I mean, just look at that. Look at this. Fucking 20. We just saw that it takes the entire screen when we have 25. And it's not not far away from getting there as well. So I might want to figure out a way to get a text first. And probably, again, most important thing of all time, we need a console by all means necessary. Some kind of console just please. There has to be a console, right? Because this is exactly the same thing. Literally exactly the same. So we first print things out on the console. There's almost like no reason to actually even get the links out, summon the links. Because again, there's only a way to summon all links, you can't just pick and choose. That would be kind of a tough thing to do. And then, like, what the fuck is this? Why would it display values? That also doesn't make sense. Everything should be done with the console. Alright, whatever. So literally nothing really changes besides that we have buttons now. A bunch of buttons. We can drag them around, I guess. That's fun. But we'll literally have the biggest, also the most important difference, the most obvious difference is visualization. Alright, this, you don't understand this at all, but when you see this, when I'm clicking things, it's kind of very obvious what I'm doing. So, it becomes like, what is this clicker game? I want to play this clicker game. It's easy, man. When you see this tiny button, It doesn't feel like it's doing anything at all. It's just, dude, it's just a tiny button. I don't see a difference, man, when you actually click on someone's name. But obviously the most important thing of all time, you can actually see it. Do you see a fucking G there? You really see it, man? On your fucking phone screen? No, you don't. Stop lying to me. But here you will be able to actually see things. So it will be just easy. Look at this, guys. Look, I'm clicking my name. You'll see everything. Very nice visualization. So it's good for the audience. It's not good for me, because I have to do the work. And just fucking putting text on the button is hard. Fuck that shit. So, everything else is insane. Alright? But, I'll survive. We'll have 7 days. If I fail, I can extend the period a little bit. Maybe 1 more week. If I feel like I've done like 50% of the work. And it's going very well. But honestly, I should be able to do it in 7 days. And, this is where if I fail, I just fuck it. Alright? I'm back to normal. I just failed. Unity sucks. And, I will live a miserable life because nobody can download this thing and spread it like a virus. Yeah, see things and understand things. It's very nice. So far, there's not many reasons, but I like it a lot. I almost like it like 2 points. Here you can find a 3rd point here. That would be nice. Alright. Anything else? Yeah, the feeder is the most complicated one. Burning should be fairly simple. You just press another button, like an X, and click on things with an X, and you burn them very fast. Respect will not be added. Power button is the same thing as burn. Click a button, transfer to this button, easy. While you're holding a button, I think I will change how the mouse looks like, so you know what kind of effects you're applying to buttons. What else do we do? The archive doesn't mean shit. We always know where we're saving our data, so that's not a problem. When I want to do a backup file, I'll just do it manually. What you have to do is, I shouldn't even put a date on the archive. It should be like the main archive. But whenever I want to do a backup file, I'll just take the main archive, which is this one, just copy and paste it and rename it, and add a date to it. That's it. That's all you have to do. If I need a backup, just in case something goes wrong, and all data just clears out for no reason, because of some stupid glitch. Alright, you might want to do some backups. And you can basically share your archives to other people. I just won't have that feature for a long time, unfortunately. You won't be able to just plug in an archive. You will have to rename it or something into main archive, so you have to do it manually. Yeah, I guess it's still a feature if it works. It doesn't matter how much work you have to put in. So yeah, probably I won't even add that feature as a feature inside the simulation, inside the app. Okay, so the one last thing, right? Everything seems in check. Time switch. Time kind of works constantly. Oh, that's a hard one too. These are tough ones because there has to be something activated. Alright, a button active. while we have this thing in place. So there's a timer, right? Timer that takes seconds. Slowly takes seconds. And you click on it, and it resets the timer. That's how it works here, right? So if I ping, there's the timer, the seconds collected. Every 2 seconds is 1 ping. I can click much faster than that, so you can definitely give a lot more value just by pinging. But it kind of goes on top of that as well. You can ping and give the pings from the timer. So, yeah, if you really like someone, you ping and time them. Very nice. So this keeps growing, and eventually you just release the timer on the target. But what the fuck? How do I set the target? How do I do that? And I should be able to set multiple targets, which is ridiculously difficult. Alright? How do I fucking do that? Do I drag them into a certain location? That's pretty difficult because I now have to track whether the center part of the button is in that location. That's kind of awkward. The least awkward thing is like highlighting the button. It's like this is the you click some kind of button and activate a few of them. You can activate maybe even 3. But I probably would just allow at the first version I would just allow 2 maximum. Like why do you need 3, dude? Why the fuck you need 3? You can't do 3 here, so I just don't care, man. I'm not gonna give you 3. So you can activate the buttons when you release the timer. There you go. I know you wanted a 9, but fuck you. You release the button, yeah, all these targets get their thing, that's fine. It seems easy. And now the hardest part is the feeder, because it has also extra details attached to it. But then, like, details go to details. Like, this is just one number, right? So that's fine. But how do you activate the feeder? There has to be another stupid thing that you activate. Which, again, is separate from this thing. You activate it, again, it highlights. Alright, while this thing, you just click on it and it resets constantly. There's obviously gonna be one special button for a timer, which is a trash button, alright? Or, I don't actually need the one. You just, what you do, don't highlight anything, and you just reset it. And nobody gets anything. Simple, right? I don't even need to type in trash anymore. Technically, I don't need to do that already. I just do this. It feels bad for some reason. It feels really bad. What's gonna happen? Let me give me these points, because I love points, alright? I'm making a video, I deserve it. What happens if I literally have not tried this before. It does reset? I guess it does. Where did these points went to? It's kind of awkward, man. Yes, activating buttons is so cool. Normally you have to type in the entire name. Like Scott says, pretty long name, right? And I have to keep pressing a bunch of buttons to type the name in. Instead here you just hold a button, click a button, active. Easy. But you have to first summon the button, obviously. But that's fine, right? If you know what you're gonna be dealing with throughout the day, you just summon all these buttons. They're all on the screen. You just Actuate, whichever. Whichever, dude. So that's easy. And we did it, right? That's the whole concept. That's how it's gonna look like. It doesn't look like garbage to me, to be honest. Yes, the top thing is very important. We can look into the code now. There might be some hidden features, you know. You never know. There are special commands that you can type in, which now makes my life even more miserable because there might just be very important commands like rename. How the fuck do you do that, man? Oh my god. Rename? So literally, not just need a console, but I need the same motherfucking thing just in case I need to, you know, command something to happen. A stupid command line, dude. I have to have one, unfortunately. Oh, man. Because it would be insane to try and, like, hold another button and now you rename? It's possible. Let's see if it's actually possible. I probably will not have a command line. I'm probably gonna be very confident, like, why do you need to rename it? You just make a new one, you know? But the problem is you need to transfer all the value at the same time, and transferring value is hard. Because sometimes also you want to set a value, alright? In fact, there's a... I use a set value all the time with girls. Alright, I want to give them 60 points for an obvious reason. Alright? How do I do that? I need the fucking command line. I just need it. There's no other way. Yes, I can be fancy with the buttons and everything, but in the end of the day, we are just screwed. Again, everything will look exactly the same. It's just this little feature, and the text will be bigger. It's like, wow, dude. Unity could have just figured out how to do their own thing more flexible, almost. They could have figured out that for sure. No problem. And, but there is a problem, yeah, sure. So we're just gonna have to move on with our lives. I'm not sure what kind of additional features I'm gonna be getting out of this. I just don't know, man. Besides visualization and the fact that it will spread like a virus. That's it, man. This why doesn't it doesn't feel like it's rewarding at all. And why I wasn't doing it for a long time. But it's still life-changing because of just the possibility of it going viral and everyone downloading it and everyone actually knowing how to use this and actually enjoying it. It's a tough thing to happen, but it's possible. It can just, you know, grow exponentially, slowly and steadily. The reason why it's a good time to do the system is I don't think I need more buttons or anything. You know, it's very hard to actually add features in here. In here, you just type in like a new value, like that, just one line, and you already have your stupid new button. Basically, you can press. It doesn't do anything. Yes, you have to write code for that as well. But adding a button here, you have to determine, you have to link. It has to have everything in place. You have to understand the basics of how the button works here. Have to make sure the fucking name is correct, or whatever it looks like. You have to draw that shit, or put it together, basically. Putting things on the screen, man, it's not as easy as it seems, man. I will always want to go back to the times where you just type in one line, a button appears, and it's already useful. No big deal. But eventually, if I keep adding features, like, it will be a cluster. Fucking, most importantly, eventually I hit the limit. A limit where I will have to scroll down to reach a button. It's unsustainable, but, you know, stacking is a very tough thing. When you're stacking, you also need to make sure that that you actually gain more value, and we have discovered that 3 things I don't necessarily need anymore. On swap, I still need sometimes, but let's say 3 things I don't necessarily need. So there's still plenty of space for me to do whatever I want. That's still not a problem. It's still not something I want to type in here as an argument for either ways. To be honest, command line is actually much simpler than drawing a line as well. I don't think I even want to do that, because after you draw a line, you also have to type in the value of that line, and the line has to hit something, so you have to detect what you're hitting. No problem, right? No, I think, yeah, the hit part is fine, because just like, you know, you have a fucking cursor. How do you detect whether you hit a button? You just kind of do, because that's the point of the button. So, drawing a line, probably not the hardest thing, but I would still prefer the command line for that. Unfortunately, so get the fuck out of here. We're not gonna use that. Oh, yeah. Yeah, it's gonna look absolutely no different. Just the font is gonna be bigger. So I'm literally just gonna suffer for the audience sake. For the potential of going viral and spreading my stupid idea to everyone. Literally it. There's absolutely no other reason for this. And I still call it life-changing, you know. There's one more feature I didn't talk about, actually. The biggest glitch of all time. This is a glitch that I have no way of fixing. And what does that glitch do? Slows things down. How does it work? Well, it's a very mysterious thing, but if you click for long enough, it will glitch out for even like maybe a full second. You click and it's just kind of stuck there for a second, and it gets unclicked. If you move your mouse when the glitch is happening, your click will register in that new place that you are in. So you might accidentally burn, you might power up accidentally, you might do something that doesn't do anything. Just click on that. Doesn't do anything, right? It's still annoying. It's not dangerous. I didn't got in trouble for that. Sometimes the power button gets clicked, but it's so rare that I don't care. You know, I obviously avoid it. So that's fine. But the biggest problem, obviously, it becomes annoying, and for no reason. I don't know why Unity works this way in the first place. It probably has something to do with the ability to undo. So there's so many actions that I've done, you cannot undo anymore. But like, I still don't understand. There's a way to actually clear the undo thing, and I actually do that sometimes. Maybe I don't do that anymore. Is there like clear? Clear? No clear? Clear log. Where is it? No, not this one. Here we go. Unity editor undo clear all. I actually use this command, and it doesn't do shit. Alright, it doesn't help me at all. I think it does help me a little bit. Maybe if I don't have the command, things get even worse and a lot faster. I'm not sure. I don't want to find out. But technically, it's just the weirdest glitch that I can't fix anymore. And I just want to move on. Maybe there's another feature of just having an app instead of this. I can't think of anything. Oh yeah, you can see the timer in real time. Normally you have to click, right? The timer doesn't count seconds unless I click. Alright, so that's important. And while I have this thing, the details will also be real time. So there's another value that's kind of linked to the timer. Will also be the value, right? It keeps going down and up. I don't necessarily like that feature. I like seeing the value getting stuck, and I'm probably just gonna leave it that way. So it's not even a feature that I'll be using. So even the real-time stuff, still not good enough for me, man. Not good enough of a reason to do this challenge. And it's still a challenge because I could just fail. I pretty much like know how things work and how to make things happen. But you just could simply fail, and too many problems, and no reason for me to do this anymore. Alright? If I see a wall, I just turn around. I'm not trying to destroy that wall by any means. It's not the life that I live anymore. Yes, I used to do ray tracing, so I literally go through every wall imaginable just to reach my goal, okay? Ray tracing was insane. Because I felt like there was something behind that wall I wanted to see, and there was nothing. Alright, everyone did way better than me. Anyways, it was a huge mistake to waste my time. People do rendering in way better ways than I do. But to have the control over rendering was something very fascinating to me. Just the fact that I could do it, you know, just to flex myself, to be able to solve crazy problems. So this, to me, you know, feels easy, but with the time limit, it's not easy at all. Oh no, man. It's not easy. Just to drag the fucking button is hard enough, dude. Just drag it, man. I probably will just need assets for that. So I'll spend most of my time just gathering assets to make things easier for me. But it's not going to make things easier for me because I have to learn the assets too. It's just so much work out of nowhere. You have no idea how difficult this shit is. Yeah, the console has to work exactly the same way. I should be able to scroll down and everything, because there has to be a lot of entries. And you can click on the entry and scroll that thing as well. It's probably not as important, to be honest. I'm fine with just having, you know, the entries that kind of scale, or just multiple lines of text. There are just summon, and it's like I can see everything. I don't need to like click on that shit. So it's fine if it's just lines of code and the scroll bar. I'm fine with that, alright? not lines of code, lines of, you know, whatever I want to display, whatever information, just lines of information, yeah. So, I don't know how it would handle this thing. I would imagine it's not that difficult. It's just like a, you know, like an ordinary text document. Eventually it will split the text into 2 lines. But displaying this is a nightmare. I won't be able to do that for sure. I'll have to copy and paste it somewhere. It's such a nightmare, dude. Because right now it's so convenient. So I'll actually have to put a thinking emoji in there about just this one thing. So there's 3 counter arguments to 4 arguments. Not good enough, man. But just that slight advantage, slight win rate, so to speak, of arguments still makes it worth it. So stupid, man. And obviously certain arguments are bigger than others, but I just don't care about that at the moment. That would be too complicated, even for me. Alright. So I'll just think if there's more features. I think the video is over, and I'll just have to go to work. So sad, man. It's gonna be a torture. But again, it's just like 7 days. And whatever happens, happens. Am I gonna be out of 7 days of silence and I'll have something in my hands? Or I'll just gonna be robbed and beat up, you know, and have some kind of amazing experience to tell you guys. Either way, I'm gonna come out a fucking winner, boys. I'm the greatest programmer of all time. Either way, man. There's nothing wrong about it, right? It's gonna be an amazing experience. I'll bitch about Unity. You bet, man. I'm just gonna come out and bitch about how Unity sucks all the way. I can't imagine anything else happening, to be honest. And yet Unity gives me all the things I need to do this. Alright? So it's just the weirdest thing that can happen. I made some even the bowl game was a very complicated thing to do. I'm still proud of that. There's some videos about it. They're very old, but maybe like even 6 years ago. I remember still doing it while in UK. Yeah, it has to be 6-7 years ago. It's crazy. A fucking bowl game. And yes, it was it had tons of buttons, tons of like ability to craft your own map. It's crazy. But eventually my dad destroyed my laptop and I came out a winner. You know, I didn't have access to the game anymore. Game code anymore. Maybe I could have extracted the hard drive or whatever, but I didn't bother. I still have the hard drive, to be honest. So nothing like pops out to me like incredibly impossible to do. There will definitely be glitches and everything, but this system is kind of solid, to be honest. I don't know, man. These glitches have to be discovered by someone else, not me. This looks very, very solid. There's also a bash button. We didn't talk about that. It's gonna work the same way as power up or burn. You just hold the button and bash instead of pinging. Because it's also, you know, a very special button. You have to really hate something to bash them. And it only works with the feeder. If you just bash someone without the feeder on, they just get pinged. Nothing really happens. So only with the bash, only with the feeder. Bash works, that's cool. So I've talked about everything. So let me think just a few moments. I'll look at the code again. Look at everything in retrospect. I think we set up everything. It just is gonna look exactly the same as I'm showing you here. Exactly. It's just gonna have some colors, maybe. You know? That's it. I do feel quite confident. Also, there's gonna be 4 buttons for the top. I could write top. It's just probably gonna be just numbers. There's also the 4th category, which is from 40 to 100 points, and actually only has 60 entries. Very interesting. Yeah, I don't see it, man. I don't see difficult stuff, but I do need the stupid console line anyways, just to add more values. Add that 60 points sometimes. I'll probably don't do linking at all. I probably will succeed in this. You know, it should be fairly simple. And it does feel life-changing still. And you never know when I come up with some kind of crazy feature just because I have an app now. I have to use it for long enough to just come up with stuff. I can't just conjure out of my ass, dude. There's a... What? What is this supposed to even do? Total influence? Oh. You kind of want to add things together. So let's say TikTok, G, and Hearthstone has total influence of 33,000. Top 3 guys have 50,000 influence, and nobody cares. Yeah, there's just some, you know, commands you have. Not a big deal. I don't think the X works anymore for some reason. I think I tried like uncanceling people, but I don't use like 20% of this stuff. I don't use the teams anymore. It feels like a garbage thing to do. Instead, I create categories of like, I created a category of politics, and that's kind of where it ended. Politic. I don't need the S. Alright, I try to cut corners as much as I can. I probably don't have to do that anymore. I could have a full name here as well in the details. The details will be a lot better. So that's a small, very cool feature. I can also reset the day score. I could track the day score. I'm not tracking this number. It gotten quite big. I have not reset the day for so long that it has more points than the top 100 combined. Alright? This is crazy to me. For so long. No, top 100... if top 5 have 50,000, probably it's like top 30. But I'm just saying, top 100 is like 90,000 guaranteed because the least amount of points someone has is 900. So you just multiply it by 100. But yeah, it's not the craziest number of all time. It's just if one influence had that amount of points, that would be crazy. But yeah, you can expand some details. You can even see the top placement without needing to say top Dr. Pill. Dr. Pill is 144. I probably would do like a separate button for that, because it's a pretty important feature. I can't just display the number, unfortunately, because it takes some loading time, and loading time sucks, okay? You want me to click a button and every single time induce a loading time? No, just for one number? I'm sorry, I can't do that. So you just have to click it separately. And eventually, it probably will work on phones as well. I'm probably just gonna sell the source code to some dude and he will make it happen. I don't want to do anything myself. Fuck it, you know. But you're selling things too early. Shut the fuck up, man. It's just a cool idea. I want to share it to the world. People can steal the shit out of me, make billions of dollars. If I get like 10,000, I live comfortably, and I don't have complaints, man. And probably people will be very nice enough to just give me 10,000 a year, you know, or even more than that. You know, they're just gonna acknowledge me still. And at the same time, it's like, I don't care, dude. I just don't care. People rip off each other all the time. It's just kind of a thing. But being original creator is always gonna give you that credit, no matter what fucking happens. People gonna hate on. It's just gonna be a lot of drama for no fucking reason. And I'm gonna sit there and enjoy my popcorn. Okay, if someone tries to steal stuff from me, Jesus Christ. It's like, okay, you can use it better than I do. Good luck with that. It's not an easy job to do. I will appreciate the story that will continue. My legacy. It's, it's almost like someone steals your baby and it's like you cry as a parent. Oh man, they're gonna grow my baby now. This is what you expect to happen. Yes, most people just gonna steal stuff and try to exploit it as much as possible. But it's just kind of interesting, how can they steal your stuff, but you're not robbed, you have the same thing, you know, you can do whatever you want with it either. They have to still learn how to use it as well. So, you know, it's like, you want a challenge, here you go, boys. Figure out what you can do with it. I want to know, you know. I want to be ripped off as hard as I can. As someone else can, not me can. You get it, right? So I'm very much fine with spreading my ideas without getting paid for it. I think there's different ways of being paid at the moment, and I like those a little bit more. Not to say that copyright is complete bullshit, but we're actually gonna talk about it in a video. Trying to figure out how big of a bullshit is copyright. Or trying to latch onto your ideas, like patent it or something. Yes, vicious people are always lurking around trying to rip off everything all the time. Take advantage of that. But people are not stupid, okay? People are just not stupid. So, they will just figure out what's going on. I don't have to worry about that. I just tell my story and people will figure it out. Yes, sometimes it can be concerning, like maybe my video is just not gonna be watched and nobody will figure out for some reason. That would be fucking weird, you know. I would be in pain actually if that happens. There's just one scenario that is very scary to think about. Like literally nobody knows, even though I created the thing and it just blows up. and just nobody cares or knows. Everyone knows some other dude, who made this popular. It's like fucking crazy. There's one Key and Peele skit for that. I think it's called Hypotenuse or something. I just want to bring it up. Just watch this. It kind of explains everything in 5 minutes. What can happen when you steal ideas? And it's almost like they actually hate you sometimes. Oh, you're the original creator? I don't believe you. Oh, okay, I guess. It can happen, actually. So that is a scary thing. But I'll deal with it, Eventually, if I'm angry enough, I'll just beat whoever stole the stuff from me, because I will make it better, I'll be a competitor, and that will just obliterate them. Alright? If I will really want to, I can still turn it around, become a competitor, and they will be like, oh shit, we are actually dealing with the original creator. Even if some people think, well, I have ripped off something, I'm still making a better progress, because I know ins and outs, the reasons why I created this system in the first place. I know everything, and I can tell a much better story, and much compelling story, and eventually they just get deleted from the internet if they do something stupid against me. So, so far so good, I don't think I can be taken advantage of that easily. I've seen Reynad, getting upset about kind of the same thing, getting ripped off pretty much. I'm still not sure if he's kind of being legit or just exaggerating things, because not posting content is pretty sad. Alright, if you don't know Reynad, he's making Bazaar. If you don't know Bazaar, don't even bother. Just typing Bazaar into the search bar is not gonna be good enough. You have to type in Bazaar game. Alright. Also, it doesn't matter if you type 2 A's or 2 Z's. That's fine. But yeah, he's not posting anymore, but because he got ripped off. We literally just talked about it. The worst case scenario, technically. But I think he's just, he doesn't know how to turn it around. You can just send a bunch of haters, and you can even fucking file a lawsuit potentially at this point. You might even rip off the company. I mean, they should be shitting their pants. You don't even have to file a lawsuit. You just, send a letter that I'm thinking about a lawsuit. How much do you think I'm gonna get for you ripping off my idea when I did it first? But at the same time, it's like, why the fuck do you care about some fucking small little shitty game that makes no difference in the world, that nobody cares about anyways? So, god damn it, dude. So, and at the same time, it's like, you should be proud that your idea actually works very well, and people want to rip off you, and maybe that you might just play that game and enjoy it for like a week, and it's like, wow, nice, right? Come on, there's benefits for spreading your ideas. The world becomes a better place sometimes. It's like, what the fuck, man? I'm sorry. The only ideas you might not want to spread is like, I'm gonna be in this and that location exactly. So be prepared, guys. And someone just shoots you down, and congratulations, you shared your idea, guys. Very interesting idea. The real world is very dangerous right now, in that sense. Yeah, it's much more dangerous to just share your location than share any other ideas that, might be valuable or something. You might be one to hold on to the ownership of it. Yeah, holding ownership is pretty good. But we're gonna talk about it separately. It's just very interesting. I don't think there's anything else that I want. So I like the details. I can put it in, right, as an argument. It's fine. I will have more than one line of details, finally. The reason why this is stupid, I could just literally add another line on details, right? I could just add details 2 and just display the rest of the text that I don't see. Like these 3 numbers, right? So there's actually no big point in like being excited about this stuff. I can add a top button already. Alright, yes, it would be cramped place now. Too many buttons. I could still do it. And it would be fine. I would also need one more button. What is it? Oh, the day reset. If I really want to. I probably don't. I wouldn't even put button here either. Yeah. So that should be it, man. So that's still not an argument, okay? With just a few lines of code, I can just add another line, see all the details I want. There's literally no reason for me to do this. But it's a service for the fans. And fans might just appreciate it a lot. So, I hope this worked. I hope this stupid OBS didn't do something retarded. What if I press on a video? I guess it literally didn't change anything, didn't it? Yeah, you can see everything. For some reason you can see this. This is not a part of the video, dude. This place, this little shit popping out. This might... this is me right there. So link to my channel. Why do you see all of this stuff? I thought it was perfect. Pixel perfect. You probably were able to see this stuff the whole time. But honestly, who the fuck cares? Because it still fits perfectly. In my world. So I don't care about service to the fans, man. I don't care about that. Yeah, I could add graphics like that. Can you imagine? Fucking loading screen for this thing. Yeah, dude. That would change everything. Yeah. Add fucking mob spawning, alright? Fucking kill mobs. Level up. Alright? Level your fucking wood cutting. What? You want that? We can do that, bitch. That's some stupid shit, man. No. I just literally can't come up with any features that I could add at the moment. But, it will look good. Congratulations. Amazing. You want better graphics? Yeah, I bet you do. See you guys next time.